so high I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through.
Welcome along to part 2 of this mini-series of learning the basics of detailing step by step. And in this episode we'll be tackling the main body of the car. The wheels have been done first as that's the dirtiest part of the car, and you don't want any of those wheel cleaning chemicals or indeed any of that dirt that comes out of wheels to land on your freshly detailed car exterior. So that's why I prefer to do wheels first. As I explained in the first video, this is my friend John's car and he'd like a simplified yet effective method to cleaning his car at home. As for him, social media is kind of exploding with different techniques, products and equipment, and it's all a bit confusing. So he's turned to his old pal to help him simplify things. What's happening here is I'm giving the car a rinse down with the pressure washer, and this not only knocks off any loose dirt and debris, but it also gives me an idea if there's any protection on the car. John paid for the dealer protection from Arnold Clark.
Say hello to Family A and Family B. Hello. Today they're picking up their brand new cars. Family A have chosen Arnold Clark Protect to be professionally applied to their new car. It's a tough, transparent barrier that protects the paintwork from damage by the likes of road pollutants, acid rain, oxidization, and even fading from harmful UV rays.
Against my advice, I might add, but somehow the salesman managed to convince him that it was worth it for up to 5 years worth of protection. So with that in mind, a good pre-rinse serves a multiple purpose here by knocking off some of the top layers of loose dirt and debris, but also seeing if that protection's still there. Some of you eagle-eyed viewers might notice that the pre-rinse is happening before the wheels were cleaned, and that was in episode 1, and that's true. I pre-rinse the whole car first, clean the wheels, then by the time the rest of the car gets its snow foam, there isn't a water barrier there to prevent the snow foam from sticking or working into the dirt, and I'm already one step ahead, getting that chemical to work on some ingrained dirt rather than a crusty layer on top, which the pressure washer can remove quickly without any chemicals. So many of you watching may have already been one step ahead of me in thinking that the dealer protection appears to be dead, with flat water behaviour on the majority of the lower half of the car, the bonnet and the roof. So as I finish off giving the car that pre-rinse, I'm already thinking of which chemical I want to be using next.
Hi, I'm John. I'm the owner of this car, and I've known Graham quite a while, and I've been in since school, believe it or not, right? But yeah, and I have been into a little bit of detailing, and we went down to wax stock not so long ago, and was really fascinated by the whole detailing thing. But I'm like a lot of people, I probably don't go into the same level as people like Graham, but there is a lot to be said. This car's just had a little bit of a rinse, and some people would say, well, that looks okay, that looks fine, there's nothing more to be done. And this car actually did have some protection on it, which I paid for. But yeah, as you'll see, there's some beading down here, so it looks like it's just holding after the rinse. But if we go up onto the roof, it looks like it's also disappeared. So in one sense, this might be a good idea for you to get protection by the dealership, but there's also a lot to be said about getting your own protection on the car, and that's what I'm here to do. And I'm just looking for, like a lot of people, we don't have a lot of time, but we want to find good ways, quick ways, efficient ways to really get some great results. And so that's why I'm here today, to see if we can get that done.
So this isn't about how I'd like to clean it. As John rightly said, he doesn't want to go to the same extent as a lot of us do. He's used to applying maybe a citrus pre-wash, then pressure washing that off before going in with a contact wash. Comment below what you think of that technique, as I know he will be interested in your feedback. So I'm going to introduce him now to Garage Therapy 1 Snow Foam to see how he gets on with that. For anyone who isn't familiar with Garage Therapy Snow Foam, this is in the league of the best performing non-caustic snow foams that are out there at the moment. It's not pH neutral, but it's also non-caustic, which for me is vital to protecting any delicate plastic trims from fading, and also helps prevent bare metal components from premature corrosion due to its built-in corrosion inhibitors. This is John's first time using a snow foam lance, and after some initial application tips, he's doing quite well. Hopefully he'll have seen enough of my videos to have a rough idea, and intuitively he feels more comfortable applying top to bottom, but forgot the roof, so that's where I get to say, you missed a bit. I've diluted this mix at 10%, which is a nice easy 50ml of snow foam mixed with 450ml of warm water. Foam lance set to the maximum foam setting, not to get more foam, but at this setting it draws more chemical from the reservoir bottle. It's not an overly thick foam anyway, which means 100% of the chemical gets to work cleansing the car's paint, and we'll let that dwell for around 4 to 5 minutes, keeping an eye on the side it's in the sun, as you don't want this to dry out, so rinsing will start from the sunny side.
Hi, it's John again. Now, I have a pressure washer and it's a Catcher K2, and I have to say it's by no means it's a slouch, and it's a really good first time pressure washer, but I've never used snow foam with it, and before that I even used just a normal hose. So this really was a first time for me, and I had to say it was a lot of fun. Previously, instead of snow foam, I'd be using a citrus pre-wash, and I have to say that worked, and that worked very, very well. The Auto Glands citrus pre-wash that they use, very good, smells fantastic, and works really great. So again, I'm interested to see what other alternatives there are. Is using the snow foam instead of the pre-wash easier, better, or more fun? And I have to say it was more fun. I love this car and I love its colour, because even in the worst weather it seems to stand out. Interestingly, in this rinse phase, the car has some protection on it from the manufacturer, and you could be forgiven for thinking that a quick blast of the pressure washer would be enough to make it look clean. And this is where some people take a look at it and think, yeah, that's enough for today, and I've done that plenty of times as well. But you know, as we continue, you'll see it definitely needs more done to it. Just wanted to give you a little bit of background into my story and my journey into detailing. I'm old enough to remember going into Halfords and picking up a bottle of turtle wax and a sponge, and really that would be the sum total of my detailing. Obviously things have changed, and more than ever it can seem really complicated for anyone trying to get into detailing. Luckily my knowledge has grown, and I'm no stranger to ceramic detailers or hybrid sealants or anything like that, but I wanted to see for myself if what I was doing was correct, but more importantly just to see if I could get something that could fit into my lifestyle. As you'll find out, there's certain aspects of the clean I don't particularly like, and I wanted to see if I could improve that. So here's the evidence that we didn't have all the protection that we thought we did. With previous cars, when I've got them brand new, the one thing that I start doing as a detailing exercise is do a super thorough clean to get everything off the car, maybe a pH neutral shampoo or something like that.
So that got me thinking of the kit you get when you pay £300 for the 5 years protection from the dealers, and the pH neutral shampoo in question is a gloss enhancing shampoo, so maybe this has clogged up the ceramic coating. So I've just got one last product to use, which will be the decider between whether the dealer protection is there or not. So in our last attempt to resurrect any evidence of a coating, we're using Garage Therapy Zero Decon Shampoo now. How does that feel?
Oh, it smells cracking. That that, I don't know what that stuff. Well, I know the shampoo, but it's gliding. And although the wash mix is kind of heavy because it's loaded, it's making it really easy because it's just gliding across. Like I say, you just flipping that over.
Right, don't go any further than that. Just rinse out the mitt. Just give it a good few dunks and rinse it out. And then go back to your.
Is this video going to capture how cold my hands are right now?
I see if going back to just telling everybody just how you can't cope with a wee bit of cold water. Right, so the next thing is to decide whether you like noodle mitts or microfiber mitts. Try the noodle one on the doors and see how you get on. It's just below it.
This is great. The only thing I was thinking is maybe for me, I might lose my grip and it ends up falling.
That's the first thing everybody says about the pad being that big.
And the noodle mitts have a little bit.
But that noodle mitt I've gave you is the same size, so.
But you've got a wee bit more surface.
Yeah, right.
Here.
So try it on the doors on this side here, and just see how.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's different, isn't it?
Yeah, because it tends to sort of flip flop.
Yeah.
Because it's shaped and it tends to
Yeah.
like this. And in one sense, that's pretty good because you can just it will mold across a bit. It molds a wee bit better, like you see, like this. But it's a little bit more. It's got a mind of its own a little bit more. So I kind of like the other mitt.
Right. Wait a minute. So hang on. So leave that there. Right, and I'll go and get you another noodle mitt, but this time a wash pad mitt noodle thing. Right, you can try that. Right.
Okay.
Back in a sec. So now we've got the Blue Rag Company noodle wash mitt. See how you got on with that.
So this is what I typically use, and I have used, maybe not this brand, but this is what I've typically used.
Don't go over the same bit. Like, do your doors.
Let me have a look down here. Yeah. Right. Okay. And I do like them because you can get into little things like this.
It's the thing. There's no point in trying to sell you what you wouldn't be using. You've got to find your own happy medium that you like using. I personally, I used to love using them because I thought they weren't.
This one's got more weight to it.
Yeah.
It's still got the flexibility of this, but this has got weight and a lot of coverage. So I really like this. So if I was going to change from this, I would change potentially to that.
Right, oh, you can take that away with you then. You can have that one.
Oh, well. That's me.
The box of goodies is growing by the minute. So
that's me
but
upgraded.
that's where I first kind of started from. These are like almost like the Simon's type. You can buy them for £3 in Tesco. You can use them for 6 months, throw them away or whatever. But they do wash really well, and you can use them.
It's like my wife wants me to try and do Muppet Monsters, but I'm saying, sorry, darling, I'm too busy washing my car. I'll do it in a minute. But yeah. I mean, I like these, and they're easy to come by, and that's why you see them in a lot of places. But I do like the bigger one as well. So yeah,
That's what she said.
yeah, that's what she said.
So if you're not going to use that, that's full of shampoo and.
Lovely though.
It takes a bit of getting used to it because of the size of it. Again, that's what she says. But yeah, that's what I use now. But so on you go. So the thing is, right, always keep see how he likes it with that. Always don't just use the suds for the top of the bucket. Actually get if you're using the noodle mitt, that's it. Plenty of liquid in it, like that. Now remember where you've cleaned before. You've only really done about half of the doors.
Have I?
But again, you're used to using two mitts for different door. Don't you? The top half of the door, bottom half of the door.
Yeah, so I've got a nicer blue one for the top and the windows, and then I've got a green, which is sort of mid, but and then I've got a red, which is the bottom.
But that. There's a lot of people use a combination of 1, 2, 3, 5 mitts sometimes. Some people use different mitts for.
So I would get to this point and then
Yeah, and just leave it.
and then I would swap out into a green.
Yeah, well, we can do that. We've got other
For
mitts,
there.
so.
You said I
So,
missed bits.
so if you draw your line as where you were, I would do the whole door on that, but not go any further than the bottom of that, and then flip over the pad, do the bottom part of the door on that, and then that's you back into the rinse again.
Yeah.
So it's a stage of, again, you want to use as much of the product as you possibly can.
Go the wrong way.
There's no point of you keeping all the product in the buckets and you try to get it. My dad does that. He goes right round the car with like one dunk in the bucket, and you're like, what are you doing? You know?
Yeah, I did see a guy the other day with a sponge in a bucket. I thought,
Yeah, well, that's fine. You know, I mean, if that's their preference, that's what they want.
Where
to
are we
do.
going now? We're going to
bonnet.
Bonnet, yeah.
Bonnet. Yeah, load up your.
So.
Straight lines, either side to side or up and down. I usually go up and down. But so, what was that on the bonnet there? There was black marks or something on it, wasn't it?
I think I took a
touch it with your fingers.
took a picture. I'm trying to see if it was there. Oh, yeah. Like you say.
It's your car.
That's my car. If I want to sit on it with dirty jeans.
If you want to have high heels and...
If I want to eat my dinner off it.
Now we're on to the stuff that I really like doing, which is the shampoo and the cleaning. I've never really settled on one particular shampoo, so this was going to be interesting to try Garage Therapy's Decon shampoo, which I've heard great things about, and I have to say I wasn't disappointed in it at all. It really glided smoothly across the surface. It had a really nice smell, and it did what it was supposed to do, which was remove that old protection and clear out the residue of the manufacturer's protection that was already on the car.
Well, the thing to be said is that we've done snow foam, we've done all that other cleaning, and that other cleaning is taking way more off than I usually would be presented with. I would usually be presented with a bit more dirt, which would mean me
having to go back to the wash bucket more often.
And also changing noodle mitts and stuff.
We're trying to simplify the process here. It does get simple.
Well, you know me long enough to know that. I like to make it complicated.
At this point, we also started looking at mitts. Now, I'm a big fan of using the noodle mitts, and they work really great for me, but it was really interesting to try different mitts and their sizes. I've always thought that it didn't make a difference, but it certainly did in this case.
There's definitely nothing on the roof anyway. Whatever was on the roof's gone. You've got a little bit of something still left on the door. By this stage, after you've done like the wash and the shampoo, you should now already starting to see if there is any protection still on the car. You'll notice it now if it's came back.
See?
Yeah, a wee bit of it there. It's very, very patchy now. As we rinse off the Decon shampoo, I've switched the long Karcher trigger to this MTM SGS35 short trigger gun, just to see if it's something he might like to upgrade to in the future for his Karcher K2. As you can see, you've got absolutely nothing on the glass, nothing on the boot.
Yeah.
It's just tiny fragments left.
Little bits
here, still there. It's as if they've just basically went dab, 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 dab.
Look.
Yeah, aye.
And then nothing.
Yeah, mental, isn't it?
Again, this year.
Yeah. And it's so sporadic, it's unreal. Look at it. Look
Again,
at
like there, and
yeah.
then nothing there.
Just make sure you get down in here as well. If you have a look, remember when we first rinsed the bonnet?
Yeah,
Look, it's already starting to sheet. That's what's called sheeting.
yeah.
When the water just runs right off it. So we've actually cleansed the paint, whatever was on it, that stopped the protection.
This change of
Yeah. Yeah, look, that's came right back. That's amazing, because when we first rinsed that, I'll just put a clip of it now, and you can see that there's absolutely no protection. We've washed it with garage therapy products and it's came back. It should really go without saying to either use your shampoo with an old wash mitt or even a quick detailer with a microfiber cloth to clean the inside of the door shuts and also underneath the doors too. These areas are often missed and forgotten about and could possibly lead to rust in years to come as water gets held onto the panel with dirt, and all it takes is maybe a slight chip or something and the rust gets a foot in the door. So take a few moments just giving the door shuts a quick clean, either along with your shampoo stage or at the end. I like to do it at the end so as not to contaminate the wash pad I'm using or the shampoo bucket, but as long as it gets done at some stage. Not forgetting the boot lid area too, where algae and mould can grow. So this, again, Garage Therapy Zero Decon Shampoo. I'm just using it a bit like an all-purpose cleaner.
I'm like the idea of this decon being able to do so many jobs actually.
Exactly, John. Zero Decon can be used to completely clean a vehicle top to bottom. Wheels, tyres, wheel arches, a pre-wash, a snow foam, a shampoo, a glass cleaner, a clay lube, and as I'm using it here at 10:1 as an all-purpose cleaner. When it comes to the rinse, it's as simple as turning off your pressure washer and being careful not to spray any water into the vehicle. This low pressure water can simply flush out any remaining dirt and suds. Another method is to close your boot lid altogether, switch on your pressure washer with no nozzle and direct the water through the gap, and this will flush out the debris and freely drain back down to the ground. Alright, that's that bit done.
Awesome.
It's just a brush into the rubbers, giving them a clean. And that stops things like algae and mould building up. And if you were wondering why I do this now instead of in the pre-wash stage or just when the snow foam is on the car, I don't want to be using a brush around areas where there could be possible hidden sand or grit lodged into the rubber seals. And as a brush goes around, it could potentially scratch either the window trim or the glass itself. So the reason why I leave it till after the shampoo stage, well, that's the safest time. Also, with mirrors can hide quite a bit of dirt in behind the mirrors, so you give the mirror a knock that way and it allows you in to clean. And of course, they do say once you've cleaned a fuel flap, you're now a detailer.
So you're just letting that dwell as well, I noticed,
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to dry in.
because of the weather.
The summertime, yeah, you might want to pay attention to the heat and rinse it. If you have black,
So
piano black trim, you wouldn't want to use a hog's hair brush on that because it would possibly scratch it.
Yeah,
So
'cause
you
it's-
do get these little brushes that are like makeup brushes that are a lot more gentle. So that's that. So all it needs now is just another very quick rinse. And so this is where we sadly leave this episode. We've covered pre-rinsing, snow foam, how zero decon shampoo can rejuvenate a coating rather than the usual removing waxes and sealants. We've covered different types of wash media and different techniques. So thank you all very much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this little mini series. If you want to see more content like this, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the final part 3 where we talk about drying the car and adding some protection. Take care. Cheery bye. And you just glide it across and it's dry. What? Dual sided towel. One side is the low pile, other side high pile.